Call the Village of Donwell Village Board meeting to order on Wednesday, April 12th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Pledge of allegiance and silent meditation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Statement regarding the meeting notice. The agenda for the meeting was sent to the Shawnee Leader and Results Broadcasting. Copies of the agenda were also posted at the Village Hall, Bonnell State Bank, and Bonnell Library. Can I have approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda and deviate as necessary.
No, second.
Motion by Ottenstein, second by Kelly, to approve the agenda and deviate as necessary. Is there any discussion? In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Can I have approval of the March 8th and March 28th, 2023 minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, and Wednesday, March 28th, 2023. I'll second.
Motion by Kelly, or motion by Court, second by Kelly, to approve the minutes of the March 28th and March 8th, 2023 minutes. Was there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Acknowledgement of citizenship and open forum. We have Grant Stajik here, Tammy Kroll, and Tim Kroll. We're here for
the web design.
communications, petitions, and correspondence. Committee department reports. CIP ad hoc committee by Kay Ottenstein.
We met, but we haven't gotten anything ready to come to board. We're still doing a lot of discussion and planning.
Committee of the whole, we discussed some items there which will be coming to the board. Police department report, Chief Eric Kraus.
The monthly police report is on file. I just want to make a note for anyone who's tuning in. April 22nd will be our medication take-back event at the police department again. That'll be staffed by officers. Last time we also had a nurse on hand with us down there. That'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If people would like to drop off their medications, that's nice because we can take in the liquid medications at that time where normally we can't. If there's people who have just pills and stuff they want to drop off, the medication box is back up in Village Hall in the corner there, so they can stop by anytime ahead of time and drop that off. So it's great to get those out of the community and safely disposed of.
Fire department report, Fire Chief Lynch.
Reports on file, 3 calls in Heartland this last month, 1 in the village, and then 1 that was canceled en route to City of Shawnee. And some stuff we'll go over later in the meeting.
EMS report, the outbeat is on file. Clerk treasurer report, Sean Rossick.
The report's on file. We had 376 voters at the election. We had 42% voter turnout, which was higher than the state turnout. On average, doesn't seem like a lot. Last year, I think it was a lot more than last year's turnout. So the results are in my report. Letters for applications for liquor licenses have gone out to the establishments, and those are due back by end of April. So those will be coming in for the next couple months here. Jen and I participated in the reality day today at the high school, so that was a fun day to watch the kids. Oh, we have to pay utilities. So that was kind of interesting, and the amounts of money they had to pay, and kind of a fun day for them. It's kind of fun to watch for us don't realize how much utilities really cost. But, they're really excited when they get their money to go buy a pet or, their cell phones. That's the first place they go, in cars. And we're usually the last place, so they have money left to buy utilities.
How many total voters we have in the village?
We have 880, 87, something like that are registered voters.
40%.
Last year, we only had like, I think like 20%.
Wow.
On the spring elections, usually not much. We usually, I think the last time for the presidential one, for the village is usually around that 38-40%. Presidential, we get a little higher for the fall elections, but that's pretty typical.
48.
No, we get a little higher, but I think the state average was like 38, so we were higher than what the state average was for the spring election, so. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like that great of an average, but it was higher than what the state was, because I saw the states on TV, so. A little higher.
Municipal Operations Department report, Jesse Rankin.
Reports on file. Big thing I'd like to point out is we're doing our spring cleanup on the 19th through the 21st. We'll go down each road once. Meaning if we go down your road and leave something at your curb, we'll be back to get it because we like to keep like items with like items. But we'll pick up anything out on the curb at that time. Anything that has a fee associated with it, we got asked for prior coordination before we pick it up. So if it costs us something to dispose of it, we ask for that fee.
What if I put something out there and I pay you for it and somebody comes along the night before?
Well, then I guess we just got all kinds of money.
You have to win-win.
I guess we'll look at issuing a refund if you paid for it ahead of time and you drug your refrigerator out there and somebody took it.
So the trail cam.
Yeah. But
It's crazy what goes on.
yeah, the things with Freon and things like that, though, is going to cost them money to dispose of it. That's why we charge a fee. Dispose of like TVs or dehumidifiers or things we won't take are normal things we don't accept, like tires, paint, construction material. The only other thing I'd like to point out is we completed our ROV water inspection of the tower. What that is, they drop a remote control device inside there's a big bowl of water up there, for lack of better terms. They drive around, do the inspection to make sure there's no corrosion or anything else going on in there. It's every 5 years. We just had the water tower repainted in 2018, so this would be the 5th year. Everything still looks good. The inside, the cathodic protection we have on the inside is doing its job. The cathodic protection is a double protectant against any corrosion inside of the water tower.
I'm gonna ask
Yep. So, and what that does is it long story short, is using small amounts of electricity and electrodes to deter corrosion. So if the coating comes off and we have a piece of bare metal, the cathodic protection will pick up that. But right now, everything looks good. And we got our safe water drinking samples back, which requires 2 of them. And yeah, nothing else really to report. One minor thing, I know we talked about the ad hoc CIP equipment thing. Our one piece of equipment we got, our tractor backhoe went down today. So, and when I mean it went down, we're gonna have to ship it out and have it relooked. So that's probably at least the transmission. If we're lucky, it's probably gonna be a clutch and a transmission. So that thing's starting to show its age. It's got 4,000 hours on it. And yeah, what do you do? An unforeseen expense I had at this one.
Okay, board reports. No zoning board of appeals.
No.
Library board is on file. Plan commission, we met. We have some items coming to the board. Fire commission did not meet. Discussion of possible actions to approve installation of stop signs on Quick Trip and Burger King property.
This was brought to us from a resident or business on Expressway saying they almost got ran over a couple times. They were asking if we could put a stop sign up at the end of their property, but that's just like putting a stop sign up at the end of somebody's driveway. At the committee of the whole, I told you I'd go talk to them. I have reached out to both of them. Neither of them have said yes or no. They just said, we'll think about it, get back to you. So that's where I'm at with that.
So by consensus, move it to the next meeting.
I thought we were gonna,
Just do it then.
if they didn't want to do it, we were
We
gonna
were
just
gonna
do it. So since I haven't heard back from them, I guess, do you want me to put up 2 stop signs there?
For safety.
You need permission for it on the property.
I'll speak to them again. It is in the right of way. If they object, then I'll bring it back to the board.
I'll make a motion to have Jesse, re-talk to them one more time. And if they approve to put the stop signs up, if they don't approve, we'll bring it back.
I'll second it.
Motion by Stashik, second by Hochstein. To have Jesse again talk to Quick Trip and Burger King about installing stop signs down there. If they don't agree to it, we'll bring it back to the board. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion been approved. Discussion of possible action to approve the purchase of a jetter trailer.
This was in reference to the Shawano municipal utility stopping all after-hour services. Brown Equipment, I contacted, I looked around the pricing of new equipment. It's more than we can afford. And seeing as how we don't use it that often, I found a reasonably priced used piece of equipment for $25,000. Sounds like a lot of money, but a new one is going to cost you probably $100,000 to $150,000, $175,000 for the exact same thing. We probably only use it after hours. I'm going to say 3 to 7 times a year. So it is an issue because if we don't have that jetter to open up clogged sewer lines and we let it sit for, whether it's a Friday or a Monday night for a couple hours, then we're going to have an issue with sanitary sewer overflow SSO reports that we are due to the DNR. As you remember, once that happens, we're not compliant and have to go through a bunch of things to get back into compliant, like with the force main. So I'm asking to buy this trailer to eliminate any issues after hours. I will say we just had one last Wednesday, last week.
Last week,
We'll say last week, Wednesday.
exactly.
And that was 50,000 gallons sitting stuck somewhere within the village, I'll just say. It didn't spill, nothing got outside of the system, but we had to wait till the next morning and hope and pray that we had enough capacity until the next morning when we could call Shawano in to jet it out.
But we would have been able, with the purchase of this one, we would have used it our own.
Right. So like Shawano, bigger municipalities got big jetter trucks, but they're big trucks. They're hundreds of thousands, probably $750,000. They're a lot of money to maintain. And they got a big 3-inch or 2.5-inch hose on there with like when we jet our sewer lines for root cutting. That's what they use. This is a smaller version. It's on a trailer. It has 400 foot of hose. It's only a 2-inch line, but has the same concept.
What fund does that come out of?
The sewer fund, because it'd be used nothing but for sewer.
I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of the used jetter trailer.
Motion by Kelly, second by Page, to approve the purchase of the jetter trailer. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has been approved. Discussion and possible action on resolution 2023-02, approving village website redesign service agreement.
What this came from is when we had Cedar Corp come here. Look at our webpage, say it was antiquated and outdated, even though we just redid it. So at that time, we went and got a couple bids. on what it would cost to redo our website. There was that one bid was over $4,000, and that was for minimum rework. What we have now is a lower bid that will allow us to do some back end data collection and stuff like that, and hopefully update our website and put our 501c3 on there.
What's the problem?
It's for the Friends of the Dog Park. What it is let me back that up. Friends of the Bondwell Parks. So if people want to donate to the parks, they can. It's an easy way for people. This was out of recommendation from Cedar Corp and from Bill had a little input on it. But what it does is it makes it easy for people to donate to the parks, because people talk about how I want to donate money to the parks. Whether it's Village Park, Cedar Park, even a dog park, whatever park we have, Mountain Bay Trail Park, what that does is give people an easy way to donate to a nonprofit organization. Then we would take that money and do upgrades to the parks.
They can earmark it for whichever park they're.
Right. It would have to be for the parks. We're going through all the legal stuff right now with Bill, and making sure our accounting firm, CLA, is all on track. Everything's good to go when it comes time to, get audited.
Say something?
Yeah, I just had some things to say about, I don't know, not many probably here even know me, but I met with Jesse and Michelle and deal with them over email all the time. My name is Tim Kroll. I currently run the website. Been doing it since like 2008, 2009-ish. I think Brenda brought up I graduated high school back in 2007 here in Bondwell. Live in Little Chute now, so I just Linkability WebWorks is not my main source of income. It's not my main job. More of a hobby. But web design is something I've been passionate about. I've been working with Village for the past 14, 15 years. I just came here from work because I just wanted to say a few things based on what was said last meeting, and maybe some people had some questions about what's been going on with the current design and that sort of thing. So I just had a few things here. Hopefully everyone can hear me fine. So the website basically started 2006. Me and Brandon Clemens, that was brought up, won the website development state championship for FBLA, and that's what started all this. I didn't have a business back then. Brought it to the village at that time. There was a website for the village of Bondwell. Bondwell didn't have a website. So we basically designed it for Bondwell, and it turned out that the village wanted to use it as their website. I think Grant at the time was village president. I worked with Barb Wickman over the years, Willa. So I've been through a lot of terms, and I'm totally okay. I just want to put it out there. If you guys want to move on to something else, it's totally fine. I just wanted you to hear my side of things, that what I've been doing with the website. Working with the village since 2008, 2009. The website has been revamped multiple times since that time period. It's far from the website it was back in 2006, obviously. But basically 2015 and 2022 is when we revamped it a couple times. I've been working directly with Jesse and Michelle on pretty much all the updates and design requirements. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing for me to come up here. I don't come into Bondwell as often as I used to, unless it's dropping off the grandkids and that sort of thing at this point. But Jesse and Michelle, we met on WebEx. That worked pretty good for us at the time. I guess this was the first time I was hearing that the village was actually unhappy with our services. So I just wanted to come and say,
the prices have not increased at all in the last 14 years. Our current contract that we had, I know that came up, it was last signed in like 2008 or something like that. The village is more than, able to go to somebody else, that's fine. It's more of like a perpetual deal that we had, like we're not gonna keep re-signing it every year or something based on, just keep doing the same monthly work and we'll keep the same contract agreement. What else here? The 10 hours every month got brought up, I know. Basically our contract deal allows for like 10 hours every month. It got brought up that we're not using 10 hours every month, obviously. If you guys can find somebody to do the work for $10 an hour, you should go that route. Totally. We put the 10 hours in there originally so that if there was like a busier month that would come up, we wouldn't have to like reach out to the board again and say, hey, can we approve, more money for this next year? So it basically just covers like busier months and stuff like that. And also this last time we revamped it, I think Michelle brought it up. I didn't charge anything extra. We basically covered it under our normal maintenance. So there was no like one-time fee or anything along those lines. Some of the comparables that I know have been brought up, like desired town websites that they're kind of looking for. They're designed by companies such as like TownWeb and Civic Plus. Now, some of those costs I know can run into like the tens of thousands of dollars, depending what you want on your website. So it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, right now the website is more basic, but it's almost you get what you pay for kind of thing. Trying to keep the costs of the village down, basically. Like I said, we haven't increased costs at all in the last like 14 or 15 years. So I wanted to just kind of go with where we could go with the future of the website. I know Jesse brought up that there's some challenges with the calendar in particular. I wouldn't say that would be too hard to do, which that was brought up. There was some challenges with how the website's currently built of implementing that calendar because it's obviously putting like certain widgets on there for like a calendar costs extra money. You can usually pay like what did I get here? Ad Event is a calendar service. You can get up to like $300 a year. We can go a free option like Google Calendar, which I had brought up before, but the problem with that is you can't just customize it as well, so it might not fit the design of the website quite as well, but it is free. So that's an option, and then Michelle or whoever really could put the updates on there, like, there's a board meeting on this day. So that is an option. The village also can have full FTP access if they want to make updates to their website. This has been discussed in the past, but the village has not wanted access to that because basically no one has had experience like coding HTML and any of that sort of thing. So how the website's currently designed, you need to know a little bit about coding, which no one's wanted to do that. So basically it comes down to what's the biggest priority of the village. Do we want more widgets, plugins? Do we want users to be able to log in on the back end? Do you want to be able to do updates on your own when needed? There are options that myself can design. Basically, I've used WordPress to design this. So there would probably be like a one-time design fee based on whatever requirements the village would look at for. I can't come up with a price just on the spot, but based on the requirements the village wanted, I could redesign the website completely. We'd probably take the content from it or pictures, whatever, but we would redesign the website. So yeah, some of the various plugins that we put on this WordPress site might have like a subscription fee. It was brought up possibly having push notifications, like if the village wanted to have emails go out or text messages go out to everybody. There's a plugin I looked into, it's called OneSignal. That's just as an example. It's anywhere from $3 to $99 a month, so based on the needs. I know a lot of these are like based on, it can be based on how many views it's getting, or how many different calendar updates you're posting. If you have more, obviously, it's gonna cost more to use the service. So, just some options there. Let's see what else I got here. I just wanted to put it out there that I have done some websites through WordPress before, and these are called like content management websites. Basically, the village can have access to the back end of everything, if you want to make updates on your own. So, it's a little bit more user-friendly as far as, like, you wouldn't need to know coding. It's more like a basic web page where you could make a new post, like fall cleanup or something. You could make a quick post a lot easier through this new website. So I do have a couple examples out there. Wolf River Game Farm, Wilson's Rural Electric. There are some websites that I've done with this. Wolf River Game Farm and Olson's Rural Electric I currently manage, and those are content management based. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to address here. I'm not really much of a public speaker, but I had some notes here, so I just wanted to make sure that my side of this was just told. And like I said, this is more of a hobby, I guess, to me. It's not my main source of income. It's fine if you want to go in a different direction. I just wanted you to hear. It's sort of a passion of mine to do website work. So, last meeting there was a motion to go forward with Rankin Designs, and I wanted to kind of look into that a little bit. So what websites have they worked on? It's working with Toys for Trucks, I think I had heard. So the Toys for Trucks website is currently managed by Aftermarket Websites. Is that like a partnership with Rankin, or?
Yeah, that he works for them.
He works for that company?
Yep.
Okay. So it's not his company.
It's not his company, correct?
Okay. And is Rankin Designs actually a business entity?
Yes.
I couldn't find anything on Rankin Designs. I didn't know if it's like a personal, like he doesn't on his own, or if he actually has a business.
It's a business that he does on his own. So it would be a business of his that he does on his own.
Is it an LLC or?
Yes.
I couldn't find anything on the business, so I just wanted to bring that up because I couldn't find anything, and I know if the village wants to go with this other company, that they should probably at least look into the company and maybe see what other work they do. So I guess I just wanted to address you guys today because I thought I owed it to myself and all the other board members to just hear myself out. I've been doing this work for a while, so.
Are you able to do the things that Cedar Corp would like us to do on our website?
I have not heard anything about Cedar Corp. Like I said, a lot of this I just found out like as of yesterday that you were even looking at going with a different service. So it's kind of just all news to me.
I have a question. Why wasn't he notified prior to this motion coming up to switch? Jesse?
We don't have a contract with him. We're looking at different options to upgrade the website. It's not a personal attack against him. It's about upgrading our website. We just re-updated. Here's the deal. When we pay or don't pay, whatever you want to call it, to update our website, and 6 months later somebody comes in and says, when are you going to update your website? That makes us look kind of.
Well, that is one other thing I wanted to bring up. I did bring this on. So this is what was sent to me as the two different versions of what was asked from me, of how the village wanted their website to look. Now, if you look at these two drawings, the website looks very comparable to that, I would say. So I just wanted to kind of just show what was asked of me and what it currently looks like.
And that is what we asked of you, and that's what it looks
And
like,
Tim,
but I
I-
think it's just the functionality is what Cedar Corp thought it was up to.
Yeah.
But like you said, the program we have is limited, and
Yep.
I guess, I mean, I didn't know you could do other things. We thought this is what you could do, because most of the other ones we've looked at, like Heartland and that, all do the same things.
Mhm.
So I didn't know you had other platforms to even do anything more than what you do.
Sure.
So we just thought, this is all we're
That's
gonna
why I
get.
just wanted to kind of just
So
show
that's
up.
why we probably
Yep.
didn't even think of going with you, because we figured this is all we're gonna get.
Because we just went through a redesign, and that's why.
And Town Web was the other one that was looking at us, or basically harassing us to go with them.
I mean, yeah, Town Web, Civic Plus, they all do websites. And if we did a redesign and less than 6 months later, somebody comes and tells us that we're antiquated, then it tells me that we probably got to look for something else. Okay, and that's where this all derived from.
Didn't come to me to look for something else.
But we just came to you 6 months ago.
And I designed what you had asked.
Well, we would ask, but right, we didn't think you
Right.
could do anything more as far as capturing data,
It's-
those type of things on the back end. More,
just like
emails
when-
and all that kind of stuff.
Town Web, or anybody showed us what they had, was trying to find it.
And Town Web is gonna be able to do
Right, they're-
more than what I can do. I put.
But at a big,
At a
price
big
tag.
price tag.
Right.
How much is budgeted for website?
1,200.
So one is wanting $4,000 and how much to maintain it?
I don't remember what.
Well, the $4,000 to maintain it was,
I think you said, it said the
$2,000?
last meeting, 2,600
I
after,
think it
after
was-
the initial $4,000.
it was 2,600 for the initial redesign, 1,400 to maintain it, but that was a basic redesign. That wasn't everything. So, and they're good at what they do, but they want you to get under contract with them. And then it just like when they did their demo and everything else. Well, here's an add-on, here's an add-on, here's an add-on, and just pay $4,000 to redesign the website isn't very conducive for the village. And then I know that the $1,400, and then I checked with other municipalities who have Town Web, and they're charging them a fraction of that.
And so I don't know if they go by village.
So towns
Based
and,
on your population, maybe.
I think.
I can't answer that question. I can answer you like I went and did open records check on other Town Web associates, and their price was a fraction of ours. And then I emailed back to Town Rep Paul, I believe his name is, and he said that was a price for the amount of pages we have.
Is there more functionality that you're asking for based on the other towns and what they have?
Yeah, and I will say that we do have more pages than other towns have, for the most part, but still the price was astronomically. I'll give you an example of town of Richmond was $600. And you can go look at theirs, they do Town Web, and then, but for us, it was $4,000, so that was another thing that turned us
Is
away.
the $600 for Richmond like a one-time fee and then plus the,
No, that's their annual.
that's their annual?
I don't know how they got off so cheap, but that's what they pay. That's what they told me. So that was another reason why I didn't want to go with Town Web, because I knew A, it was going to be a large money up front, and then B, add-ons down the road. And then the other thing is I didn't feel we were getting a fair deal from them.
Yeah.
That I think that they're getting big and just saying, hey, if you want to do it, here's the price tag, good luck.
I just know with certain plugins, like if you're asking for alerts and
Yeah.
calendar, like a certain calendar, there are certain monthly fees usually with those services. So, I just, the website may be pretty basic now, but there is a ton of info out there, like you said, lots of pages. So
Mhm.
a lot of these services are gonna base it based on how many pages you have. So, to redo the website from scratch, they probably are asking for more just because they can pull certain content, maybe copy and paste some paragraphs.
Yeah, and I'm sure they got tons of shells that they can pull from to say, okay, this is what we're gonna use for your village.
Yeah.
And they do quantity. That's how they're able to do all that. So they're nationwide. I'm not saying you can't be nationwide, or if you're nationwide, I don't know. I'm just saying that they're in, with large communities in Kentucky, Utah, I believe Denver. So they got a lot more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to compete with the town web because that's their specialty. Again, this is not my full-time job. I just came from my full-time job, so, it's just more of, I'm telling you, some of this can be done. It would be an additional fee, but I was not, even asked for any of this, so I just wanted to come and say my piece to this.
Is there a way you could put something together for us?
As in, what do you mean?
Just what our bids that we looked at and other stuff, and what you could actually do with it?
Like, as an
Like-
example?
Like like changing things up and,
So we could put Cedar Corp stuff out there.
right,
Well, I was
what Cedar
curious
Corp was
what,
looking at.
I haven't seen Cedar Corp, I haven't seen.
It's not going to be a Cedar Corp thing. It's going to be a thing that Cedar Corp manages for us, for people to donate. So the 501c3, and they're doing all the paperwork for that.
So they won't be, we're not talking Cedar
We're-
Corp is the one doing the website. They're
No,
the
no,
ones that
no,
work
no,
with the
no.
nonprofit.
They're going to work out the ins and outs of the nonprofit, on what we can use that money for and the correct way to go about doing it. And we make sure our attorney and accountants and all involved, make sure, but Cedar Corp is the one, they do a lot of municipality work such as code enforcement. What else am I looking for?
They do the grants too. They look for
Yeah.
grants.
They do grants, they do a ton of stuff. And that's why we're doing an outdoor rec plan. And they're the ones that are gonna put together the outdoor rec plan, because we contract out to do outdoor rec plan, just like we contracted out to do a comprehensive plan. And it all has to be in accordance with certain stipulations. And that's why he's doing an outdoor rec plan and came up, everybody has a way to donate money to parks. So then he looked at our website and said, well, your website's.
This is really just one page of the website.
It's just gonna be a link off of it.
It's a
basically.
link.
Right, and he's like, well, when you gonna?
Yeah.
And this is what triggered it, when he said, well, when you gonna update your website?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, maybe we need a creative difference to go a different direction. And again, it's not like we're, we gotta get ready. That's not what we're doing here.
Mm-mm.
We're looking for maybe a different creative approach to refreshing our website.
Totally reasonable. I'm just here because
Yeah.
I'm just finding
Well,
out
yeah.
about this, and you didn't come to me to ask for it to be redesigned again. I know
Right.
we did this 6 months ago, but what was asked is how it looks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we were doing it because it wasn't gonna cost any more money.
Right.
So, that's it.
I totally
Yep.
agree with you. I understand exactly what you're saying. And I'm just giving you the point of view of where we're at right now.
So as far as putting something together, I would have to see, I guess, what did Rankin put together for you as far as like a little template or something? I mean,
Yeah, I don't have it on this computer that we have up here.
It was just like, it was just a different website, like
Right,
it was a
they
fake
basically
website
had them,
type thing.
both gave us some new examples.
I
some
could
new
put
work.
something out there as far as like, just a blank, template. It wouldn't have any bundle information really on it, but you'd be able to go either on your desktop or your mobile device, and the website would look different, which is, I think, what the village is looking for, because everyone's on their phone these days, and you want a little bit more mobile-friendly website.
We're just
Understand?
looking for a new look.
Yeah, totally understandable.
something
But-
modern.
How the website is right now, it's not made to be two different versions on different devices and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I could, you can actually go on those couple of websites that I provided as an example. That would basically be a template for what
So you got
it could be.
Wolf River Game Farm, what's another one that you said?
Bolton Rural Electric.
It's olsonsruralelectric.com. Rural Electric.
Wait a minute.
You can't see it.
There it is.
Oh, no, I can't
That's
see it.
not the one.
That's not the one.
So you're gonna have to Olson's Rural Electric.com.
Woo. Need a bigger screen.
So this would probably be a good example of, they just wanted a very basic website of, here's our address, here's the services we provide. And if you go to the web version, it's gonna look different than how it is on your phone. On your phone, it's a lot smaller. There's a little navigation menu, so it pulls up all the buttons and fits the whole screen, basically. Yeah, it's,
I can't
it's
see
just
it. I'm
fairly
just-
new up there, so that's,
Yeah.
So when you're normally doing something, you're looking for new, better, whatever. Don't you send out an ad in the paper or something? Or,
We're not
Oh,
soliciting
same thing.
for bids for a contract like road work, things of that nature. It's just like, I didn't take an ad out in the paper about a jetter, or we don't take an ad out in the paper about,
You don't have to.
what else? I mean, other things we do. The only time we do legal bidding is when we do like road projects or things of that nature, that magnitude. So when you're talking 200, 300, 400 $1 million, then that becomes a little bit different.
well, if you're looking at one website that wants $4,000 or 2,600 to maintain it, and then you got somebody doing it for 1,200, don't you want the comparables for the board to see to decide that versus just one recommendation from
We
yourself?
gave them three.
Yeah, we had more than one. We had multiple. And obviously we can see what our current page is for Bondwell already. So we have that to go off of also.
But had he known about that prior, he could have told you that he's able to, even here's.
I didn't know the village was dissatisfied with the current page.
I don't think
basically.
we're dissatisfied.
We're not dissatisfied.
We're not
we're just
dissatisfied.
looking
We think
for-
you did a great, you were doing a great job.
We just didn't think you could
Absolutely.
do any more, Jeff. We thought that was it.
So can you get us something and then
And a
we can
bid
table this for next time?
also. Yeah, because can you get us a example and a bid? Because like Brenda said, we can table it for now if you're interested in keeping Bondwell.
Yeah, I basically need to know the needs of, or what you would want to see on the site. To give a good bid, basically.
I like the look of what they're looking from.
Well, I think with the tabs and stuff that you would need, you'd have to contact Jesse and Michelle. And with regards to
With
Cedar Court,
and
so that's what I
Yeah, and
suggest.
that sounds very like, anyone could link to this Cedar Court probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
not, that's not
It almost
the,
seems
that's
like
not
a
the
separate
driving
thing.
force. The driving
No.
force is when they come and
Just a
said,
different one.
are we?
You want a different look and it to be more user friendly, basically, mobile device, that sort of thing, probably.
Yes.
Like some of these things, so like, I forgive me, but I can't see. So like I got my glasses, I need binoculars. So like these things down here, to put like a tile, like a scrolling tile, rather than that scroll down the page and look at it. And I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not, so like Town Web came and gave a big presentation with scrolling tiles and different ways to do agendas and then to be able to link our,
What did you mean by boxy?
See it? Well, if you
so
scroll
it
down,
just
like, it's
scrolls down.
It just, yeah.
Oh, boxes.
So like, administrative communities.
I think it's better than what it was a year ago. I mean, it definitely looks better and it's you know, what we had before we revamped it. I think it's definitely cleaner, but, you know,
Two of them when somebody else comes in and says.
now I'm thinking, I don't think it's that bad, but whatever.
So like
We're
this,
used to it.
this one right here, agendas and minutes. So to make it just a date, to say, you know, whatever, January 10th, agenda, minutes, YouTube link, whatever, something like that. Now, I don't know the exact thing, so that's what I'm looking for, creative design from the web designer to see how we can modernize this rather than just listing everything as a document, for say with hyperlinks, but to make it more of a I don't know how to articulate it correctly, but the way Town Web showed us, I know we don't have Town Web money, okay? But they had it all flowed together where you could post, they posted the minutes, the agenda, the link to YouTube, and had it all listed out in neat, nice web pages. They had scrolling tiles at the bottom where, you know, news and updates, and then another tile that had whatever agendas, another tile that had, you know, changes to the code book or whatever. So rather than all that scrolling down, not only to have this more of a flowing type thing, but also to have this not be so blocky. So that way people don't have to scroll all the way down. So that way you come down this far and you have all these scrollable tiles, like whatever it is, 3, 10, 7. And then you can pick the one that you want to drill down into. And then, you know, like the weather app. And then, you know, sign up for village newsletters, donate here, things like that. So rather than having to scroll all the way down my page, and that's what I mean by new.
You want it to go away after you scroll the previous information.
I'm not exactly sure how to skin this cat. All I want is a more updated, creative way of the way it looks. I can't.
There's just numerous ways to do it.
Right, and I'm not going to say that I want X, Y, Z.
Right.
And this is where I guess that we're looking for an example of, you know, take this what we currently have and we're not asking you to do a ton of work either, because I know time is money.
Well, maybe Cedar Corp has some examples to look along the lines of to get what we're looking for in regards that they work with, that they prefer. You know what I mean?
At Cedar, let's not get caught on Cedar Corp.
Yeah.
But I thought that was what the whole concern was, so we could set up a separate thing for the 501.
Cedar Corp's getting that all straight. So, and then we got to still work out the bank account, stuff like that. If you're going to look at examples, it would be Town Web, Civic Plus, other things of that nature. Cedar Corp is helping us with putting this all together, but they're not the ones that are designing web pages.
I mean, I don't really know much about Cedar Corp specifically,
I
but
don't think you really have to.
You don't have, it's irrelevant.
I was just, okay. I was just
Don't
gonna
even
say
worry
like,
about Cedar Corp.
okay.
No.
Because as
That's
far as like
just-
nonprofit
Yeah.
stuff goes, you can be even more basic with that. You can set up a PayPal account on the website,
It's
Make
gonna be
it non-
similar like to PSN.
make it nonprofit, and I mean, it's, yeah.
It's gonna be like our PSN right now.
Yep.
It's gonna be more like that. It's gonna go and that's what that's gonna be.
So when you're talking about the scrolling, like on the high school website, it scrolls through different pictures and you can click on different things in the picture and then it brings you to an article. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Kind of had that. We had the scrolling pictures.
That's why I don't know, I just was trying to find some example.
Yeah, I just know some of
So
those.
it's sort of like this. This is not exactly what they showed us, but this was the first one that comes. They have little tabs down here that, and this is a bad example.
Now look.
But they had little, I guess, what do you call it? Tabs, tables,
You
whatever.
like minimize it on the.
Right. So
page?
like they had,
Little
imagine
plus
it-
minus that you can minimize.
yeah,
it.
imagine if you will.
Yeah.
There's 7 of these green horses, but you only see 3 at a time. And then you can hit left, right, to scroll to the one you want that has news and announcements, left, right, or whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
So that I got something like that rather than scrolling down.
And all that is basically widget to install on the WordPress site. that I'm talking about. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I really don't know.
right.
It's not my job to
You don't
see
care
how.
about the technical side.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, I wanted a more modern, updated look with something like that. And I mean, that's kind of broad direction, but that's sort of where we're at with it right now. We haven't had any discussion or anything else.
So I guess consensus, table it for now?
Yeah, and if you can get something for us.
That we send to Michelle and Jesse.
Yeah, send it to them, because then they'll get it out to us for our next.
We have a committee of the whole meeting,
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
Would you rather get something for us by then?
Yeah, because all I'm gonna put together is a very basic, I can show
And that's,
maybe a scrolling thing, but it won't have any info on it.
yep,
Just make it
But your
cool.
rundown of your costs and everything like that.
yeah,
So
and the
just
whole
everything
bit, 'cause
you would
then
have
then
for
they'll have everything.
So,
And the 10 hours, that's just what we have to on this one, so the 10 hours,
Right, and, yeah, I
Like you
just
said,
wanted to
we
kind
don't
of
have-
clarify the 10 hours is more so if something comes up, like that last redesign, I didn't charge anything extra, we didn't have to get approval through the board, it was just done.
right.
Well, thank you for coming and talking to us.
Yeah, no problem.
You wanna have the young lady come in?
Yeah, he's here for the operator's license that was denied, so we probably, he's off of work, so he probably wants to get that.
So consensus with tabling that one.
Yes.
Yep. Bring it to next meeting. So that was the.
Thank you.
K9.
Okay, we'll move to K9. Discussion and possible action to approve the operator bartender's license application.
So in doing the background check for, are you Becky?
Yeah.
Okay. Becky has several prior operating while intoxicated convictions on her record. I believe there's 3. And then there were some other things that popped up that I don't think she's a good fit right now for a letter. If she could go a couple of years, probably about 2, I think we could probably do the conditional letter then, but right now I don't feel comfortable in doing that.
the ones you're concerned with, what's the timetable on those? When were they?
2019, I believe, was your last OWI conviction.
Yep, that's the one that I purposely pulled myself over for, so I could ask for help.
And then there are other things that popped up in the background that it threw red flags up for me, and I'm not comfortable right now with that.
Did you have things to adjust the board with?
I haven't touched alcohol since 2019. I have too much to lose. If I get caught with any alcohol in me, I lose my son, I lose my house, I lose basically everything I own. Not worth it. So I have not touched it, will not. I mean, I bartended in Cecil, that doesn't bother me, the smell of alcohol bothers me. But I will not drink, there's just too much for me to lose. And I don't wanna go to prison for 10 years for something stupid. Not worth my time.
Are you still able to work on a Dollar General, even if you don't have your operator's
That
license?
and if I was able to do that.
I think there's only 2 people there that have a liquor license, isn't there? 2 or 3,
3. There are 3 that have it right now.
and everyone else does not.
And she just quit, so I don't know if it's true.
The one is Kimberly.
If she's still there.
One that just, back one check.
Yeah, and they all blend together for me, I'm sorry.
Linda?
Yeah, she's
You
the,
quit.
okay, and then the other, the younger girl, Natusha. Glasses, Yeah, I can't think of her first name. Alyssa. So Alyssa and Kimberly have operated.
So do one of them have to, Kimberly or that other person
Have to be there in order
On the
to
premises for them to
sell
sell.
alcohol, or they have to put up signs that they cannot sell.
Well, without knowing what the other things are, I got nothing to say then.
And I feel we have to follow what we have in line for the ordinance or the
The recommendation.
The recommendation.
Recommendation of the chief.
So I'll make a motion to deny the operator bartender license application for Becky Rosen.
I'll second it.
Motion by Stashik, second by Court. To deny the operator's license application for Becky Rosine. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Sorry. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you for coming.
Discussion of possible action to approve the paving of Whitney Way Road extension.
What this is, Mr. Grunwald completed the curb, the mountable curb on the extension of the road for, Whitney Way. The agreement we had with him is he was responsible for utilities, curb and gutter. The village is responsible for paving the road, so I got a couple quotes about paving the road. Shawano County Highway Department was the least expensive. But I say we don't pave this road until there's a couple that wants to build a house up there. They want their driveway coming off of that road, so that would be the only reason we would pave it. So approval to pave that road upon the approval of building plans for that house is what I'm looking for.
That's what we did with the committee of the whole last time, right?
Yep.
That's what you had approved to make the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the paving with approval with the accepted building plans.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kelly, second by Zuger, to approve the paving of Whitney Way with exception of the paving or the building plans.
And does that to get on the schedule also?
I would put them on the. schedule.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna put it on the schedule.
Yeah, put it on.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Right?
Opposed? Discussion and possible action on resolution 2023-03, approving village attorney legal service agreement.
This came from the committee of the whole. This is for new attorney services. Basically, we looked at various attorney services. Right now, we're with Bill Vandecastle. We haven't been getting the service we need in turnaround, so we have looked at a few different options. Town council law and litigation has been one we've dealt with in the past. Turnaround has been good. We've had a few people recommend that firm to us, and that is what was recommended from the committee of the whole. So this would be the actual resolution to approve them.
Nothing's changed since the committee of the whole meeting.
I did get the contract from the town council law and litigation, which attached to the agreement there.
I'll make a motion to introduce resolution 2023-03 to approve
common counsel as our law and litigation for legal services.
A second.
Introduced by Court, second by Kelly. Resolution 2023-03 to approve the village and attorney legal service agreement with town and council law and litigation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Page,
Present.
Kelly,
Aye.
Game.
Aye.
Zuliger.
Aye.
Hottenstein.
Aye.
Stashik. Court.
Present.
Resolution passed. Discussion of possible action on resolution 2023-04, approving certified survey map for Van Game property, parcel number 107-16220-0000.
This came from the Plan Commission. What this is that St. Paul is purchasing a portion of his property for future expansion. He had it surveyed. The two issues that came from the Plan Commission was that in the registered deeds, there's currently a portion of the surveyed lot that is listed as no owner. So he is fixing that with the registered deeds. And then to make St. Paul aware of the utility easement that is on the north side of that property.
There was a part here that was floating around it. It wasn't.
So it's for future extension of their.
Cemetery. I was trying to think what was back there, but that's the cemetery.
I'll introduce resolution 2023-04.
I'll second it.
Resolution 2023-04 is introduced by Kelly, second by Hottenstein. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Game.
Yep.
Zuliger. Yep. Stashik. Yep. Kelly.
Yep.
Court.
Yep.
Hottenstein. Yep. Page.
Yeah. Resolution passed. Discussion of possible action on resolution 2023-05, considering vacation of dedicated roadways in Whitney Woods subdivision.
This also came from the Plan Commission. What this is that Mr. Grunwald has dedicated roadways in Whitney Woods subdivision. He is looking to dissolve them roadways. This was brought up in years prior. The residents who own the lots bought the lots with the intention of being corner lots. If he dissolved them, then they would no longer be a corner lot. But since then, he has put in curb and gutter on them roads, gave everybody a water and sewer lateral, and has made corner lots. So the request to dissolve this came to the Plan Commission. They agreed with that and moved it forward. The benefit to this is that if somebody ever buys Whitney Woods, that portion that we're dissolving the roadway, because there will still be stubs for that road, somebody else could come in and redesign it and put roads in as they see fit, and then rededicate it back to the village. There's a minor monetary value, meaning that the roadways that are dedicated to us we currently don't tax, but you're talking very minimal. So we'll go back onto the tax roll. So we're not losing any money by dissolving this. Now there's a process for this to all go through. I think Michelle can expand on the process portion of it.
So I ran this through our attorney. As Jesse said, we tried this back in 2018-19. We got as far as the public hearing, and from there, it didn't go. So we've already done the first step, which is the Plan Commission. We met on the 27th, and they recommended to the board that we go ahead with the recommendation to vacate these roads. This is the second part, where the board would pass this resolution to say, yes, we're going to proceed. With that, we have to wait 40 days, which would bring us to May 22nd. During that time, I would have to file a list pendants with the Register of Deeds. I have to serve papers to the property owners with the survey. I have to actually serve them papers with someone. I have to pay to have it done. By the 16th of May, which is 30 days prior to our public hearing. And our public hearing would be at our June meeting, which I have in the resolution, which would be on the 14th at 5:30. So it'd be prior to our meeting on the June meeting. At that point, I also have to run a class 3 notification, so 3 times in the paper prior to that meeting that we are looking to vacate those roads. So at that meeting, people would be able to come to that meeting and express any concerns they have with us vacating the roadways. The last time, that's as far as we got, and there was issues with the people that had the corner lots. And they were upset that they bought corner lots and wanted a lot, because they wanted their driveway to come in off the other road. So on the map that you guys have in there, that's what we'd be paving now. The person's looking to build on that one corner. Jim's put that in now. He's ran sewer laterals to all the lots that needed them. He's taken care of what he wanted to do in 1819. He's fixed that, so we should be good.
So everybody that wanted a corner lot
Correct.
in
You'll-
that time
right.
frame now
Correct. It was that
has
Whitney
the corner
Way
lot.
was the issue. The other road that he's vacating, where lots 9 and 10 are, 10 is owned by Borkel, I believe. 9 is. 10 is
yep.
Jim's. So he owns lot 10, so it doesn't really matter to him. What will happen with that roadway there, where the white is, that will be dissolved, and half will go to Borkel, half will go to him.
go as more.
It gets split. So that's what would have happened the last time. It would have got split. And there were some other issues where he changed where he was ending the road and not ending the road, and it was kind of a mess.
There was also an ownership change too.
Correct. There's been an ownership change on lot 8. The last time it was owned by Rosines. Now there's a different owner there.
That's where they want to build.
That's where they're going to build, is on lot 8.
On 8.
Yeah. So there were some issues between lot 7 and 8, those are property owners, the last time. So
But that's
those have been resolved, so ideally it should go unless there's a new issue. So, like I said, there are some legal things we have to do and file. I have all of that detailed, and I have notes and know what I have to do as soon as you guys would pass this to get everything filed with Register of Deeds and get those letters through. So that's where we're at with this.
I'll introduce resolution 2023-05 for vacating portion of dedicated roadways in Whitney Wood subdivision.
I'll second it.
Resolution 2023-05, introduced by Kelly, second by Court. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Kelly,
Yes.
Stashik. Yep. Zuliger.
Yep.
Page.
Yep.
Court.
Yep.
Hottenstein.
Yep.
Game.
Yep.
See you in 40 days.
Discussion of possible action on resolution 2023-06, approving the fire hose and ladder testing service agreement.
So the fire department went through an audit and an SPS investigation and inspection. We came up non-compliant on ground ladder testing. It has not been done in many years. In fact, nobody knows when it was done. I don't know of any records anywhere. Basically, we kind of got the free pass for last year, but we have to have the ground ladder testing done this year and every year afterwards. I contacted 3 different testing places. None of them will do ground ladder testing unless they're doing the hose testing as well. The main reason for that is because of the fact that the equipment for the ground ladder tests is carried with their hose testing equipment. And they're losing a lot of money by not doing the hose testing to have us do the ground ladder testing here. Nobody on the department is qualified to do ground ladder testing, as well as we want to make sure that it is done to the state and NFPA standard. Make sure we have all proper records. Same with the hose testing. We've been doing the hose testing. We're not sure if we've actually officially been doing things to the T of what the NFPA guideline says. So we just want to move forward with going with FireCat precision service testing to be able to take care of getting that done every year so that we're within compliance, because a violation can be a fine for the village, the township, the fire department, as well as me as the fire chief. And I don't really want to be a fine for something that, can be taken care of relatively.
How much is that per year?
That was $3,800 plus $295 a foot for ladders to be tested, which is roughly 100 and a little over 100 feet of ladders. So looking right around $4,000 a year for that. And
Currently, we
that's
don't have that budgeted, right?
correct.
And where would the funds be coming from?
That I'm not 100% sure. That's
We're gonna have to take it out of the equipment, out of their normal budget, and we'll have to watch what we're spending, and we may be over budget, but we really don't have a choice. And
No, because we can't.
we have to be compliant.
Right.
And so going forward, we know it's a 3-year commitment, and we'd have to budget for it for years to come. There's not a lot you're gonna do
No.
about it. It was, we had,
Something we should have been doing all along. apparently.
correct, and the fact that we haven't had our ladders tested, and who knows when.
We need our firefighters to be safe.
Correct.
Right.
So I think that we really don't have a lot of options in this, and like Kevin got quotes, and this is the best quote, and then we know our hoses are correct too. And like you said, it takes how long to test the hoses with the guys anyway?
hoses 3 hours a night for roughly 4 nights at least. This company will do all of our trucks, hoses, and ladders in 1 day.
Nice.
So,
And that's every 3 years?
no, once a
Once
year.
every year.
Oh, once a year.
But it's a
It's
3-year
just- it's a
contract
3-year
with them.
contract.
Oh, 3-year contract.
Yep.
Well, and you hope to get it done in that many nights, depending on how many people.
Well, and that's
show
just
up.
it.
And there's no calls
And there's no
100%.
calls, and so that's just.
So this takes care of that, and I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, that's the biggest part with that is, they can only do it in 1 day, and then, everything's
done.
all good to go until the next week. So,
I'll introduce resolution 2023-6 to approve FireCat for the fire hose and ground ladder testing service agreement.
I'll second it.
Resolution 2023-06 was introduced by Court, second by Zuliger. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hottenstein.
Yep.
Zuliger.
Yes.
Gaines.
Yes.
Page. Stashik. Court.
Yep.
Kelly.
Yep.
Resolution passed. Discussion about possible action to approve the liquor license for Bonneville Broncos Baseball Club.
Liquor license is a 6-month license for the Bondwell Broncos Baseball Club, starting May 1st through November 31st. The background has been approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for the Bonneville Broncos.
I'll second it.
Motion by Hottenstein, second by Kelly. To approve the liquor license for the Bonneville Broncos Baseball Club. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion and possible action on picnic license for Celebrate Bondwell Spring Poker Run.
The picnic license for the 1 day for the poker run for the Celebrate Bondwell, that also has gone through a background check. There's nothing that showed up on that, and that is good for the April 22nd. which will be down at Village Park.
I make a motion to approve the picnic license for the Celebrate Bondwell Poker Run.
Second.
Motion by Court, second by Kelly, to approve picnic license for Celebrate Bondwell Spring Poker Run. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Discussion of possible action on approval of first quarter per diems.
All right, so the per diems are in there. The only thing I noticed is the top header. It should be 2023 first quarter per diems, not 2022 fourth quarter. Did anybody else see any of the meetings that were wrong? Or need changing? If not, these will be paid on your quarterlies, which will be the next pay period.
I'll make a motion to approve the first quarter. Opinion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Hochstein, second by Zilliger, to approve the first quarter per diems. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Discussion and possible action on appointments to boards, commissions, and committees.
All right, so those are in there this year, being that we went to committee of the whole. We don't have all the board or committees to appoint to. The only thing, and I don't know if Russ has had time yet, would be zoning board of appeals. Lyle Wusso is up for either reappointment. The police committee, we have Doug is up, the chairman, and then Jeff Simons for the fire commission. So I don't know that you've had time to talk to any of these people, so I'm thinking maybe we'll be moving this to the next meeting.
Sure.
By consensus?
Sure.
Yes.
By consensus.
Unfinished business, closed session. Move to closed session to discuss a possible business development. Turn to Wisconsin State Statute, Chapter 19, General Duties of Public Official, Subchapter V 19.85 exemptions, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting the others specified public business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. At the end of the closed session, the commission will reconvene in open session.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session for approximately 5 minutes, inviting Michelle Marashik, Jesse Rankin, Rick Kraus.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Where can we get the
Motion by Stashik, second by Hochstein. Move into closed session for approximately 5 minutes, inviting Michelle Marashik, Jesse Rankin, and Eric Gross. Roll call.
Stashik? Yep. Pottenstein?
Yep.
Court?
Yeah.
Zuliger? Yep. Game?
Yep.
Kelly?
Yep.
Page?
Yep. We've got a closed session at 7:18.